Hey everybody, Nikolai here from RCGroups.com. Today we're going to unbox the Phoenix model Strega, which is a reproduction of a full-scale pylon racer. And as you may know, you may have seen one of these before. There's been a similar model out before from Phoenix, which is actually a 55-inch model. This one is now running just under 69 inches. It is set up for gas power or electric. If you go gas, they're calling for a 30 cc, and for electric, they're calling it for a 1600 to 2200 watt system. This will be coming out later in, I believe they said late October. So we're going to unbox this for you now and let you get a first peek at it, and we'll see how it looks. So let me open the box here and we'll show you what's inside. Alright, so I've taken the lid off the box, and as you can see, everything is packed really nice. Everything is individually wrapped as expected. There's bubble wrap between all the major layers. I can see that the cowl has the nice foam, thin layer of foam all around it to protect that. But I'm gonna take all this stuff out of the packaging, and then we'll come back and look at the pieces individually closer. Alright, so as you can see, I've unpacked everything from the box, taken all the protective wrapping off, and I can say that I am impressed by both the build, weight, and the packaging job that they did on this. Everything was wrapped really, really nicely. So we'll get to the big pieces and get these off the table here, and I'll take you through the smaller stuff that was included, which is, there is quite a large part number to the set, so we'll go through all of it. But here's the fuselage. And it's all balsa sheeted. There's no open bays here or anything. It's really nicely built, and for the size of it, it's actually really light. I'll have to check on the box and see what the expected weight of the total airframe will be, but it's really nicely built, nice and light. And I'll show you the inside here. Got some nice plywood structure in here. And then all of the outside I can see is all balsa sheeting. You've got tubes back here for all of your push rods, and then you've got a nice thick block here for your wing bolts. It does come with a pilot included. It could use a little touch up. The whole face is all one color. You can barely see the lips. The detail really isn't there, but when it's going 100 miles an hour, you're not going to be able to tell. So there's a hatch right up here in the front. Got a little spring-loaded latch, and this is going to give you access to your fuel tank and or battery compartment. So you've got a lot of room right in there for whatever you may need. The firewall looks to be really well enforced. It's got a triangle box on both sides of the firewall. There is blind nuts pre-installed, and it looks to be pretty nice. I may have recommended that they would, add some fiberglass cloth on here. It's always a nice layer of protection to give when you're doing a gas model, but for a 30 cc, it's probably not needed. But continue on. So the covering on this is really nicely done. I don't see any bubbles at all. I'll probably just run over it with my heat gun just to make sure everything's tacked down. But I don't see any spots that are going to need to be gone over. This is really nice. So let me put that back on the stand here, and we'll move on to the cowl. Cowl is really thick. It's kind of surprising me. Usually you can have a lot of flex in the cowls. They don't put a lot of layers on them, but this one is really quite thick and rigid. So that's nice to have that extra rigidity. Nicely painted, and it's got the cardboard here on the backing for packing, so it doesn't get squished. But it's really nice color. Moving on, we've got our horizontal stabilizer. All the hinges are in there. They are not glued yet. Covering looks really good. And I can see the hard points for the control rods. And similarly, we have the rudder here. And I will note that these CA hinges were pushed almost all the way in. You can see this one here was pushed almost all the way in, so you gotta watch those. Put a pin in those before you glue them so they don't slide all the way into your rudder. That would be unfortunate. So we'll put that aside, and I'll show you the wings real quick here. It's a nice sized wing. I can't even get it all in the picture here. Again, the covering job is really nicely done. I do see some slight discoloration on the ribs. Maybe they used a little bit too much heat, but there's a little bit of a yellow-brown tinge on some of these lines. It could be actually just coming from the wood. It's kind of hard to tell. So that's a little unfortunate. I do see some spots here as well. I don't know if it'll come across on camera. Some little burn spots, some right here, and then little dots here. But other than that, really nice covering job. The wing looks to be very nicely built. This full front half to quarter is fully sheeted, and then open bays in the back. We do have flaps on this plane, so it'll be nice to slow it down because it is going to be a speed demon. Now on the back we've got access hatches, servo hatches for the ailerons and the flaps, and then in here is where the retracts are going to go. And then there is a bay here that we'll have to cut out for the ABS for the wheel to pull into. And I'll give you a little quick look down the wing. We do have strings pulled for us for the servo wires. But looking in the structure, I see glue on every joint, and everything looks real nice and strong and secure. And we'll look at the other wing real quick. And it looks virtually identical. I have a extra hatch that was taped somewhere. It was taped on the end. I'm not sure where that goes to. We'll find out. It might be just an extra that they provided us. Again, I am seeing a little burn marks here on the white, just in a couple spots. But other than that, the other wing looks ready to go. All right, so we'll move on to some of the smaller parts here. First of all, I noticed this is a giant wing tube. I measured it. It's actually 1.25 inches in diameter. It is beefy. It is aluminum. It's not real thick aluminum, but I think it'll handle everything that we're gonna pull it through just fine. And we do have some ABS parts here. So we got the wheel wells for the retracts, and then some additional. I believe those go on the bottom of the wing for the fake intakes. And then we have another hatch that I believe goes on the bottom of the wing here. This is a plywood balsa hatch. And then we have another hatch. I believe this also goes on the wing. Alright, so there is a bag of hardware here for, it looks like to be all for the gas mount engines. So you got a couple different size standoffs. You've got some rather large, I would say those are 4 to 5 inch bolts. And it looks to be 3 different templates or spacers, can't tell which, that come with this. So it looks like most of the hardware you're going to need for a gas mount is going to be all in this bag. And then in the corner of the box was this little box, and inside is our CNC retracts. Looks to be really nice, nice setup here. Everything is metal except for a couple metal sleeves which will hold on the doors. But you've got a full metal axle, and you've got the pins are full metal. So this should be a real nice sturdy set for any grass landing that you might do. Let's put those off to the side and we'll keep going. into the main accessory bag. So everything, all the main accessories come in this one bag here. And inside we have a bag with the tail wheel components. And in this bag we have all of our clevises and pull wire and all of the, yeah, it's going to be all the servo connection hardware that you need in this bag. And in this bag it looks to be some fuel components for a gas tank. You've got a stopper, some rings, and some fuel tube. And then 2 wheels. These look to be foam rubber. And here you have your gas mount, nylon mount. And this is a template for drilling for a DLE 20. And we have a real nice big red nose cone. And finally in that bag we have the fuel tank. So that's everything that's in the small bag. Off to the side of the box, taped were all of the control rods. There is 3, 6, there's almost, it looks like there's a dozen in here. 2 long ones and then 10 or so really short ones here. Comes with all the nuts on it already, including, there looks like there's an additional clear push tube. And then we have a nice decal sheet here. And then finally we have the instruction manual. So that about does it for this unboxing review. As you can see, everything was built really nice, covered very well, packaged awesomely, and it came with a ton of accessories, including the retracts, which is awesome. So we're really looking forward to getting this together for you. Like I said, it's due to release in late October, so I'm going to do my best to get this together for you and give you a full flight review before the release date. So stay tuned for that full review on rcgroups.com, and in the meantime, thanks for tuning in.